Anyway, I just lost faith in it. I don't know what to think anymore.
The fetus to a pod and perform what I would call a transposed screening.
Okay.
I guess that's why they call you doctor.
Because she does medical stuff. Yeah, Sam, you got it.
Reveal ourselves to the Jedi.
Got it, pal.
At last we will have revenge.
Good job.
Allows you to treat still baby syndrome.
A
He's
BB
smart.
pod is functionally no different.
If you wanted to be the big spoon, you're good. I think Dollman might have a crush. And you know what? Go off.
That's a groovy pair of specs, Sam.
I think he does actually have a thing for Sam. It would make everything make more sense, right? Everything in a weird way would make sense. I wonder, was it eating the apple that did that, do you think? Take that, baby. Take that. Oh no, I can't move. There's too many of them. Come on. Ooh, child. Things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child. Wow. Ooh. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I was trying to get through that hole. Oh man, he is kind of hard to fly. Da, na, 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 na. Oh, na, 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 na. Oh, na, 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 na. Oh, na, na. Anyway, this is.
Let's see what we can find on you.
I feel like we can trust her. Can she not use her regular hands? I'm not saying her hand necklace isn't cool. It's very cool. It seems like it would come in very handy to use. A very handy, Sorry, just sending a quick dirty text. Hang on a second. Okay. Throw some EX grenades, he says. Okay, well, I mean, I'm busy, so I'm working. I'm working late, 'cause I'm a streamer. Wait. I'm working early, 'cause I'm a streamer. You look so good with your Nonder coffee mug. No, that doesn't work. There's got to be something there.
See what we can find on you.
I feel like we can trust her. Can she not use her regular hands? I'm not saying her hand necklace isn't cool. It's very cool. It seems like it would come in very handy to use. A very handy, Very funny, right? Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Pre-Work Coffee Hour. Hello. It's Monday, February 9th, 2026. A gentle touch. Right, Bebo? You're right. And we're back with another week of sorting. Probably mostly sorting, maybe a little sipping, maybe a little seeing. I have an interesting development in my sip and see journey that I'll share with you here just in a moment. We'll get to it. But hi, everybody. The Phantom Menace today is Ursa for the 152nd time. Why does my mic feel super far away? Am I sitting differently? Hold on. No, I'm sitting like right where I normally sit. Okay. Feels like I'm having to stretch it a lot. Anyway, Mersa says 6 degrees hurts the soul. It's 6 degrees. What's the feel like? Should we do weather? I didn't mean to go to this screen. Should we do weather this morning? Let's get through some clock-ins here. It looks like Reaper has clocked in and is not late. Thank you, Reaper. 303 clock-ins. Good to see you. From Sabine. Thank you, Sabine. Thank you for clocking in for your mom. I appreciate that. That's what you should do. You need to teach Sabine how to like get Phantom Menace and clock in for you. That way you can still like go make coffee or something, you know? That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Well, how was the weekend, guys? What did you guys get into? I'm gonna start sorting this. It's right in front of me and I keep looking down on it like I'm gonna sort some stuff. So we're gonna do that right now. I should probably take my watch off so that I don't accidentally dox myself, you know? Let's do that. Let's see what happened this weekend. Jeez. Gosh, what happened? It's so weird. I wake up on Monday mornings and I'm like, all right, back to it. And then I'm like, well, what did I even do? What even happened? Let's see. Let me go back. Friday. Gosh, my memory sucks. What happened Friday? Maybe I shouldn't recap my week first thing. Maybe I should wait until my mind wakes up a little bit more before I start recapping everything that happened. See, this is why I was afraid to do this, because streaming games always gave me like something to fall back on, something to be like, anyway, let's go play some games and then talk about that. And I don't have that now. So now I just have to ramble until my brain starts working. And it'll happen. It'll happen. It'll work eventually. My brain works eventually. This is an odds and ends container. I'm going to put it over here. Got some editing done. I didn't get as much editing done as I should have, or I could have. I need to find some better times to get some editing done, guys. I need to rearrange my life a little bit, maybe. Figure out a way to at least like touch the edit once a day or something. But there's only so many hours in a day, you know? Go ahead and let me get rid of this. I'm going to hide you for right now. We'll be back. Look at that. Streak 520. Good Lord. Good Lord. Good Lord. I can't believe that. 3, 2. So we're going to have this little bin for 2s. This little bin for 3s. This little bin for 4. And this little piggy had 4. This little bin for 4. There we go. Oh, so I set up for the sip and see stuff. Actually set up. I thought I was going to be able to get away with using 2 monitors, right? Like, I use this one for the fireplace. But it's kind of gotten a little hard to do the React stuff when I have to put it on the screen with OBS, and then I can't see all my OBS stuff. So I was like, you know what? I need to bite the bullet, pull up that portable monitor that I've had for a while, and just use that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to throw just bricks in general in this one. So now I have a little portable monitor down here right underneath this screen so that I can do things like this. And I'm just capturing the whole screen instead of capturing Opera and then having to like do that every single time. So that should make sip and see stuff a lot easier, like massively easier, but we'll get to it. I did see no loots today. I hope everything's okay. Try not to be too I'm trying not to be too parasocial, but I consider him a friend and I'm really worried about him. So I hope everything, I mean, he said there's some good, some bad, so I don't know what happened, but just keep him in your thoughts and or prayers if that's something that you do. I'm going to miss him the whole week. Yeah. Ghost. Hello. Thanks for clocking in. As we know, in the streaming world, a week might as well be a month. So, you know. Well, here we go again. Another 9-month Puerto Rico trip. You're taking a 9-month Puerto Rico trip, or he is? I just realized my mouth is so incredibly dry. It's so weird. I don't know why it's so dry. Maybe not dry is not the right word. It feels like cottony. You know that? You messed up your shoulder by sleeping on it? That sucks. I haven't met him in person, but plan on sending him a DM just telling him House Ursa cares. That's a good idea. Yeah. I carry such anxiety for my friends. I mean, I carry such anxiety for everything in general, but especially for my friends. Yeah. I haven't seen the announcement yet, so it might be like family passed away and I'm over here like, look at this guy. He didn't really say. I guess he's not ready to share, which is completely fine, you know. And with, you know, completely fine for him to do so, you know. Who got the sword again? Ursa. A couple other people too, but yeah. Hilrico, your Puerto. What'd you guys think of the big game? The hashtag big game. You guys sports fans? We literally turned it off after halftime. Literally. Did I not start one for the ones? I need to start one for the ones. I thought that this year was absolutely the weirdest of any Super Bowl. The most boring. Every single commercial was just weird. There wasn't anything funny. There wasn't anything interesting. I'm still deeply disappointed with that Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. Deeply disappointed with that. Who's missing? Mursa? Nobody's missing now that you're here. The gang's all here. You in this bed. Take that up with Ursa. Watch Fallout instead. Fallout's pretty good. We're not caught up on Fallout yet. But it's pretty good. Yeah. There was literally like nothing in that Super Bowl that I was like excited about. Everything was weird. Everything was odd. I guess I was just expecting. I was expecting a trailer. I was expecting not a. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be so upset about it, but I'm just like, come on, come on. You're 2 or 3 in and pretty happy with it. Are you in first season or second season? I would understand. Okay. Yeah, we'll put those. Oh no, it's like a mega block. Hang on. Nope. Had to check. I had to. These are mega blocks right here. Look, Mursa. Look. It's for you. Gonna put that over here in that container. Oh, you can have this too if you want. I don't know what it is, but it looks like maybe a leftover remnant of a Slim Jim package. Second season. Okay, cool. Yeah. There's one particular point in season 2. I don't remember what episode, so I won't spoil it because I don't know if you're in it yet. But that really did have me kind of like, okay, that's really funny and like a really cool like game mechanic essentially that was in some of the games, and like it made me like the character of Lucy a lot more as well, which I didn't hate her at all. In fact, those eyes. But anyway, made me like her character a lot more, you know. I thought it was pretty cool. That's all I'll say about it. You started Devil in Ohio on Netflix. Devil in Ohio. Is that like some kind of true crime thing? What is that? Oh, there's another Mega Block. Mega Mursa. There's another Mega Mursa. Dartorlin, hi, buddy. Not staying long. I need to sleep. Definitely. Go to sleep. Trying to sleep, clocked in, sleeping on the job. You know what? Around these parts, I approve. I'm not management. I'm the one you got to talk to. but I'm okay with it. The fact that anybody could fall asleep to these dulcet tones is pretty wild to me. Pretty wild. I don't know how you could do that. I'm just going to randomly scream. Oh, I can't do it. But it would be really funny just to give you like 15, 20 minutes to doze off, and then I'll just scream into the mic. But it would wake up my own kid, and I'm not trying to catch those hands, you know, if you know what I mean. You know? How's everything at House None? I think everything is good here. Ashley wasn't feeling super well on Sunday. But that's okay. Zeke and I had a baby shower to go to for one of his friends at church. Her mom is having a baby. And so we went and did that. That was nice. It was nice. Yeah, other than that, I just tried to get some editing done. Oh, I went and got my brakes done. Cost me more money than I wanted to, but not as much as I assumed it would, which is good. There's a lot of other work that needs to happen on that car, so I'm not looking forward to that aspect of it, but at least I got the brakes done. The brakes are going to be good for a while. $500 later. But I was thinking 800. So I was like, okay, good. We're lower than my expectations, so I feel better, I guess. It's a, oh, hi Lars. Hello. You said it was a new series with the chick from Bones. Oh, Bones herself, Mrs. Bones. What was her name? Mrs. Bones. Yeah, I think that's it. It's a drama with Creepy. Ooh, sounds interesting. That sounds like something Miss Nonder would be into. Have that piece too. Oh, here you go, Mersa. Look at this thing. A little piece of cardboard. We're going to recycle that by putting it into your bin. I'm going to give it to you. You can throw away my trash, please. Emily Deschanel. Zoe Deschanel's, is it sister? You're right. Interesting. Well, does she do the same thing she does on Bones? She just looks at people's bones and solves mysteries by looking at their bones? It would be funny if it was like, here's this new series starring the lady from Bones, in which she does the stuff she does in Bones in this series. You know? This thing is grody. Let's see if I can scrape it off. If I can't, I might get rid of this piece because it's really grody. There we go. Older sister. Okay. Nondred. We're Nondred spirits. Ursa, do you have an actual list? Or is it like a mental list? I need to keep an actual list. And I need to remember that that list exists so that I can go and reference that list when I do want to watch something new. You know? Oh, here's another little, yeah, I think it is like either candy or a Slim Jim wrapper. Wonderful. Wonderful. You keep a list on your phones. That's, yeah. Mainly K-drama romances. Nice. Going down the... Never mind. Yeah, that would be the best place for it. I really need to put it on our house Discord. I think that's the place that would be good. That way, whenever Mrs. Nodder and I are sitting down, we can like... Okay, what do we need to watch? And then I can mark things off when we're done. So we're like, did we watch that? I can look and be like, yeah, we sure did. Ready to fly for a white guy. Sorry. Hi, Koro. Good morning. Good morning. This is Andre and I are going to do a little choral island co-op when she gets to a point where she's like ready to do so and start a new world, because she's really invested in hers. Hello, Chloe. Chloe Perry, I love God. Thank you so much for the follow. Good to see you. Whoa. Whoa. And it's all Koro's fault. She started this whole Koro Island thing. And then Coleman did, and then whatever. Coleman does something cool. And my wife's like, you should do that too. And I'm like, dang it, Coleman. Making me do stuff. It's horrible. I was really lost there for a second what you guys were saying, and then I realized she was just saying the names backwards. So I think this is a Mega Block. Do you guys know? Usually when it has those empty pegs there. But I don't see any Lego branding, but I also don't see any Mega Block. I'm pretty sure it's a Mega Block. It's going to MRSA. And it's going to MRSA. Yeah, I should turn on the light on the phone. The problem is I'd have to stand up every time to see the top of the phone to turn it on. Unless I can like, hang on. Maybe if I figure out where it is on the screen. Okay, it is right on the corner. Let's see if I can hit that without. Hold on. I can hit that. Chase the waterfalls. There we go. That'll be helpful. And then I can just hopefully. Yeah, I can hit it. Okay. Maybe if I put like a little piece of tape right where it is on the screen and I could see it here and then hit it when I need it. All right, these ones are all Lego. Authentic Lego. All right, we're schmoving today. Your street name is T-Hogs. Wow. Okay. You know what? I'm not even going to ask what it stands. I'm not, I know it's just Ghost backwards. But I don't want to know otherwise, I was about to say, just put a little something like that they have on the F keys and the J keys on the keyboard. Yeah, so that I can reach up and feel it. I think I could there we go. I think I can pretty reliably hit that. Just ask. Never mind. Never mind. We'll put fours. Yeah, we'll put fours in there. 1x4 plates. There's another one for MRSA. What does it mean by don't go chasing waterfalls? What does that mean? Because, like, it says stick to the rivers and the lakes that you know. See, now I'm not going to be able to hit it. Gosh dang it. There. Make a block. See? Don't look at my gross nails. I need to trim them and file them down. I did clean them, though. At least I did that. There we go. I can go in there. Why should you just stick to the rivers and streams that you know? It's a metaphor, warning against pursuing dangerous, risky, or self-destructive behavior. Interesting. Good morning, Reaper. It's literal. It's a metaphor. It's literal. All right. Who do I trust here? Waterfalls are dangerous. I guess they could be, right? Those are the that you know too. Ooh, look, guys. A little Cheerio. There you go, MRSA. I'm going to try not to think about that too much. I mean, maybe it's a little bit of both, right? Maybe it's both literal and a metaphor, An avid kayaker. I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Don't go kayaking Rivers that you don't know. But how are you going to learn if you don't try? Spooky Deer. Hi, Spooky Deer. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, good morning. Why did I say good afternoon for you? It's morning for you. You're not that late. Jeez. I'm gonna put those in there. I'm just gonna put all the flat no stud ones in this, and then I'll sort this out later into its. We'll do the same with those two. Make that a lot easier. I was wondering that too. Did I oversleep that much? No. It's just I'm used to, like, for some people saying, like, good afternoon, and I don't know why my mind just kind of got away from me in that moment. We're listening to some 90s bangers today. I looked at the lyrics, and it sounds like the song is about not doing drugs. Okay. I mean, it's probably a generally good idea. I know that makes me sound like a square, but hot take, don't fry your brain with drugs. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you're an adult and you want to, do what you want. I'm not going to stop you, but probably not a great idea. Such a square. What a square. It's very low. It's very low in the background. You're so glad you never got that Red Hot Chili Peppers tattoo that you wanted as a kid. Could you imagine Lars going around with an RHCP? Hey, RHCP is triple platinum. Are you? The TLC song is against drugs in a you're gonna end up dead in a ditch literally more than like the Dare way. Gotcha. Yeah. Gotta get its hooks in you. Ah, there's some Mega Blocks, and this one looks very familiar to me. This is part of the Blue Angel set. They did have stickers. They did have stickers back then too. Come on. I'm like, I can hit that. There it is. And then I can't. See that sticker? This was a young Nonder putting that sticker on. And why aren't you focusing now? Focus. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful, right? Am I right? There's another MRSA. I thought it was rough, says Bebo. Okay. I won't show you every single Mega Block, but just the ones I find are interesting. Oh, I learned something recently, guys. I was going through this collection, and I started to notice pieces that I was like, what are these from? And I just kind of like, I put them all in one of the containers up there, and I just didn't think too much about them. Like, okay, well, they're those little circle pieces. I don't know. I'm sure I could use them in some kind of like maybe the power core from the Enterprise or something, you know, the blue discs like this. And they're a little thick, and I didn't think anything of it until I found one that had like a Jurassic Park logo on it. I was like, oh, okay, well, it's probably from one of those Jurassic Park sets. I wonder what that does. I started thinking about Smart Bricks again, and I was like, wait a minute. Did they have a version of Smart Bricks from before? So I looked it up. These are Lego Dimensions NFC tags. Do you guys remember Lego Dimensions? I don't even know if you can play it now. But these are little NFC tags, and you can see on the inside, I don't know if you'll be able to see super well. You see that? The little chip in there? Little scannable NFC chip. So now I have a ton of these. You still have it? Do you guys want the NFC chips? Could you... I don't know what this is. It doesn't have a sticker on it or nothing. But it's an NFC chip. And I have probably about 9 or 10 of them. You loved it until it kept crashing. You do? Okay. All right. I'll go dig out the other ones. In fact, hang on. Let me check something real quick with these. Counter argument, you could end up in a ditch if you kayak off a waterfall. Okay, true. Who's to blame for Tutankhamun into your own vein? Whoa, is that one of the lyrics? What a shame you shoot and aim for someone else's brain. I literally copied those lyrics earlier, but decided to go against going that in depth, and then here we are. Holy cow, I had no idea this. Wait, is that like, who's to blame for Tutankhamun into your own vein? It's probably not the same part of the song, huh? It's not the don't go chasing waterfalls part. Wow. That's weird. I don't know. Purple Tiefling, hello. Thank you so much for the raid. It's so good to see you. I appreciate that so much. Welcome to Monday morning. We're doing a little bit of sorting here of a rather large Lego collection that is taking me far too long to get through. So we're investing some time in sorting this morning. How are you? Grab you a shout out here. Just 1 second. I really need to put this on my Steam Deck. I say that every time. Let's see if that worked. Did I spell it right? Yeah, I did it. You were playing art. Well, tell me more. Tell me what you're getting into. We used to stream a lot in the art category before they made like a specific Lego category. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Are you a friend of Lars? Do you know Lars? There's the ones to watch the rocks. Okay. There's these ones too. Watch the rocks padding so fast. Don't tip your boat and make sure your life vest. Don't tip the boat and life vest. Okay, anyway, I was going to check something with these tags. One of the things I wanted to check. I want to check to see, could you even use these in a build? My first instinct was, okay, it's not 3. My first instinct was like, this would be really cool in like a generator. Okay, so it's not the same amount as that. How about 2 bricks or 2 plates? Okay, it is the same thickness as 2 bricks or 2 plates. So you could potentially use that in a build. It seems like they're thicker than 2, but I guess that makes sense, right? All right, I'll send the NFC tags to you too. I looked up like what you can do with them now, and there's not a whole lot. So I don't think there's and now with smart bricks, which is essentially what those were anyway, you know. Oh, that's Lego. Josie in the gang too. Yeah, we know Josie here. That's cool. The gang. There's a gang. I'd love to be part of a gang one day. Anyway, I was designing costumes for the school play my friend's putting on. Shakespeare, A Midsummer's Night Dream. That sounds cool. Huh. Very cool. We're all in a gang and you're invited. Let's go. Let's go do gang. I don't know what that is, but let's go chase some waterfalls, I guess. Against the better advice of, who is it that sings it? Is it TLC? Yeah. Does anyone have any updates on on how the All-American halftime show went? Because last I heard they were having licensing rights. I'm really deeply interested in what happened there. Like morbidly curious, I guess you'd say. You know? Oh, Mega Block. Mersa Block. Crashing hard today, Lars. Do what needs to be done. As always, everyone is welcome to consume this however they want, or not at all, you know? More power. More power to you. Here's another MRSA block. What's MRSA gonna think that I touched every single one of these bricks? They might be worth something someday, you know? Chasing waterfalls, only if there's treasure behind. And if the dev is worth their salt, then they definitely put treasure behind that waterfall. You know? Could you imagine designing a waterfall in a game and not putting something behind it? I get mad every time that happens. What are you doing? What are you doing? Were you born yesterday, game developer? I don't know. It didn't get much news coverage, and X pulled it because they didn't want to pay the licensing fees. Yeah. So basically, anyone who cares didn't watch it. I kept seeing comments like, all 14 people. Yay. I did think. I thought Bad Bunny's performance was, I can tell that he's a great musician, and everyone had a lot of fun. I don't speak Spanish myself, but I could still, get down with the beat. As the kids say, I could get down with the beat. But sometimes, guys, not everything is for you. And there was a whole lot of people who seemed to enjoy it, so I'm very happy for them. I'm very happy for them. There was a specific part in the halftime show that I really enjoyed, and then Ashley told me I can't. She's like, stop it. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I like this. And she's like, quit. And I'll let your imaginations fill in on which part that was. Did Green Day do a little speech? No. No, and I'm kind of torn on this because, so Green Day's song, American Idiot, they have been, in the past few years, I don't know about every time they perform it, but occasionally when they perform it, they say, I don't want to be an American idiot, not a part of something agenda, but sometimes they say MAGA agenda. Don't want to be a part of the MAGA agenda, and I love when they do that. And they didn't do that at the Super Bowl, and I think that was probably a compromise. I think they were like, okay, well, you can play any of your songs except American Idiot. And they're like, we're going to play American Idiot. And they're like, okay, you can only do American Idiot if you don't do the MAGA line. You saw a reel of Billy going off. I mean, he goes off a lot at his show, at like their regular shows. But, I think there's a lot of concessions you make to play something like the Super Bowl. I did think there was a moment that I got a little like, when he was talking about one nation controlled by the media, as the Super Bowl camera zoomed in on his face. And I'm not saying anything bad about Billy, about like they did what they had to do, whatever. But it was just, did have this moment of like, that feels weird. That kind of feels weird. I don't know. I'm sure they were threatened. Obviously, there's things you cannot do on the Super Bowl. You will get sued into oblivion. There's contracts and all of that, but I don't know. I had kind of hoped for a little bit more, but the song itself is already a very, anti-fascist America kind of song. So like I can already jive with that, but I don't. I do wish they had gone just a little harder, but Lady Gaga was there, and I'm a very big Lady Gaga. Okay, I'm about to say Lady Gaga fan. I just want you to understand that I like Lady Gaga and her music and her. How do I say this? I appreciate her. Essence. Is that? I don't know. I'm going to learn if this is the right way to say it later when Ashley watches this. She'd be like, you're being weird. Anyway. Excuse me. Felt too short. Yeah. I didn't really hear any of those songs. Ashley was like, oh, you'll recognize some of the songs. I was like, I guess there was like one where I was like, okay, I think that tune sounds familiar, but like not really, I don't know. Played snippets of 3 songs. Now, Ashley went wild at Ricky Martin. I told her I would not be able to pick out who that man was. I had no idea. I mean, I know who Ricky Martin is, but like if you showed that man to me, I would have been like, who is that? And I was like, who's that? And she stood up and screamed, Ricky Martin! I'm like, okay, all right. The censor did get at least one F-bomb. Yeah, there is a line in American Idiot, and they did the original American Idiot, and there is a line in there that I just wouldn't. There's a word in there that I don't really think is like appropriate for most places, much less the Super Bowl. So like, it's fine, whatever, yeah. It's like, I kind of get why one of those F words, not the F word, but the other F word, why you would censor that in the Super Bowl, kind of makes a lot of sense. I like the song that's in Spanish. I was a little surprised that there wasn't like, hey, can you help me dumb English speaker, like understand what he's saying? I'm sorry. I didn't understand what he was saying, but he said it with a lot of passion, and I could tell people liked it. So I'm okay. Yes, yeah. I mean, we do have that word here too, but we take it a lot more other ways, There might have been a general F word too. I don't recall. Potentially. But I just know that word in particular, the short one, exactly. Yeah. Oops. That one was definitely censored out. And I'm kind of like, I think that makes sense, You call that the F slur. There you go. Yeah, you're right. There you go. There's a Lutz Magoots mug. Just printed. I got the one that was before it was double printed. Limited edition. Even though they're not using that word in its slang or in its slurred term, I still don't like it, So I was like, yeah, that makes. If you're mad about that, I got questions for you, Oh, Mega Block. MRSA Block. I gotta just start remembering to call it MRSA Blocks. Anyway, like, yeah, so we turned it off after halftime because, like, also the game was incredibly boring. And neither of us were interested in anything beyond that. I was too ticked off about the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer spot that I was like, you know what? And all the freaking AI and every single ad where you're spending all this money to advertise, and every single ad felt like it was phoned in and nobody gave a crap. And they didn't care. Like, you're going to watch it anyway because it's Super Bowl. But it's like the Super Bowl ads, people watch and talk about those because there was a lot of effort put into them. And if you're not going to put effort into it, then we're not going to watch it. I hate to say. I don't know. It sucks because there's a lot of people who will be like, yeah, we're not going to watch the evil Super Bowl for this reason, because there's a person who doesn't speak English in it in the halftime show. How dare they put someone who doesn't look like me in there? And it's like, yeah, we're going to not like the Super Bowl for different reasons, but it's still a slur. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Definitely an era, which I'm still kind of surprised that they still use it, to be honest with you. Kind of surprised they still use it in that song. Although is I don't know much about him. I've listened to their music forever. Is he in the community? Is that kind of like a situation where it's like, yeah, he's allowed to use that word? Did the Epstein victims ad drop? Unless it was after halftime, I don't recall seeing it. But we literally did turn it off after halftime. There's nothing else here for us. Yeah, the French one for cigarette, right? So yeah, two things there. I'm surprised. One, I am kind of surprised they're still using it. Two, I'm not surprised that they would censor that, and I'm not mad about it. But I do wish he would have said don't want to be part of the MAGA agenda. I wish he would have said that. I wish he would have gone there, but I bet you anything they had lots of talks about what they can and can't say, and I'm pretty sure that they probably were like, you're not singing American Idiot, and he probably pushed for that and made a concession in order to actually sing the song. I'm only assuming. I could be very, 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 very wrong. and most likely am. So take that with a grain of salt. I probably shouldn't make such bold assumptions. It sounds like cope because it probably is. You know? The snippets of the files that people can actually read are so upsetting. It's wild. John Wick. Send in John Wick. This is an interesting. Oh, this looks like a little. This looks like a little train. A little train part. See that? These spin here. We could build a train, guys. That would be fun. Oh, come on. Come on. Your phone crashed. Oh, no. There you go. I believe he's bi, but that's not his word to reclaim. No, okay. I wasn't sure. I don't know a lot about his personal life. Shake it, baby. Anyway, yeah. I don't know what we're talking. The medium one. I don't know what we're talking about now. I'm so lost, guys. Just to be crystal clear, so we're not sure we're talking about the wrong one. I'll just say it. How about no? How about I just say it so we're all on the same page? That is not my word to reclaim either. It's not Billy's. It's not me. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Say it, Bella. Say it. Everyone's fingers are on the clip button. That's funny. I don't want to work today, guys. I don't want to go to work today. The halftime show only 13 to 14 minutes, you know? Excuse me. I'd have to look up what other ones have been. I didn't think it was particularly short. Yeah. I thought it seemed like it was an okay length. I don't know. I do know that most of the freaking advertisements seemed incredibly short. They're like, hey, trailer online now. We're not going to actually show you a trailer at the Super Bowl. You're going to have to go online to do that. And it's like, well, I would have done that anyway. So what's the point in the Super Bowl spot? See, I'd even be less upset about the Mandalorian Grogu thing if they were like, hey, this is a teaser to the trailer. Go online to watch the full trailer because we didn't want to pay for the full spot, which it's Disney. They could probably afford it. But no, there's still no trailer. There's still no other. Yeah, I know we got a trailer before, but I want more. Dang it. I'm a real trailer. Never mind. It fell short to me because it was a bit hard to differentiate between the songs, even though I knew most of them. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. Oh, and that definitely would be short if you skip the two guest appearances. That would be pretty short too. Look, a little ball. I think technically this is a Lego piece, so I guess I'll keep. Wait, this is plastic, right? This isn't some kid's jawbreaker, is it? Yeah, it's plastic. Okay, for a second there, I was like, wait a minute. Is this just an old jawbreaker? Gross. Today's Wordle was so hard for your brain. Ooh, I haven't done Wordle in a while. Wordle Fridays? People are still doing Wordle, huh? Versus like, I don't know about people, but me. All right, well, I don't know where to put the yellow, the red ball, so we'll just throw it back in right now. Ooh, some hair. Lego hair, not actual hair. Anyway, Clumsy. Hello, Clumsy. Good morning, or goo morning, as the case may be. How you doing? These are Lego, right? Ah, no, these are okay. These things are old. This is another part of the collection that kind of made its way back to me. This collection made its way back to me in the divorce. Not from my wife, but from my job. Let's see. There we go. That's a Tyco. See the little text right there? Tyco. A little side engine, I guess. Ew. Ew. So I guess this has got to go to MRSA as well, huh? Another MRSA block. Come on. There we go. Got it. Those are some old pieces, though. I've had those in my collection for a long time. It wasn't that long ago that I got rid of all this stuff. I'd finally purged it out of my collection, and here I am sorting it all out again. You know? Went to a little Super Bowl party yesterday. How did that go? Did you guys watch the All-American Super Bowl halftime show at your Super Bowl party? Sorry. I'm really hoping you've made friends that wouldn't have done that. But listen, no judgment if you did. We all got to survive out there. Okay, no. All right. We got to survive. What do you think? Did your family watch the All-American halftime show? The insinuation that don't watch the regular Super Bowl one, watch the one that's actually All-American is diabolical. And feels like it should be illegal. It feels like a hate crime. Because we went through all that effort to like colonize Puerto Rico. They're American, dang it. We own them. Horrible, but true, you know. Persephone B, hi. Thanks for clocking in. How you doing? The girl who invited me is super chill and loved the Bad Bunny halftime. Well, there you go. That's all you need to know. Honestly, like, kind of a good litmus test. I can imagine just sitting around when Bad Bunny starts and everyone's just looking around at each other like, this could be an SNL sketch. Like, it's pretty good music, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't speak Spanish, but like I could understand why you'd like this, right? Right? Yeah. Oh, it's pretty good. Okay. Good. Nobody wants to like change the channel nobody's pulling up the Chromecast to get to YouTube, right? Nobody's on X right now. All right, we're chill. So funny. One guy was vaping though, instant turn off. I can appreciate somebody vaping to like kick a smoking habit. I can appreciate that. Yeah. Every muscle and physical exercise counts. Heck yeah, Bebo. Sounds like you learned something from Lars right there. Oh, how nice is it just to have some chill friends, right? It's so nice to have chill friends. I like my friends chill. If you're wondering why we don't hang out that much, maybe you're not chill. You know? If you were chill, if you're just like, hey, like, be normal, we'd probably hang out. You know? Luckily, I don't feel like I have many people who are like longing to hang out with me that I hate. So that's a good position to be in, you know? There isn't like a lot of people knocking at my door to like come watch sports with me, Nonder. I've sort of self-selected myself into a position where I have to make friends at my break appointments, you know. You guys saw what I put on Discord about that, right? You guys saw what I put on the Discord. I really actually feel like I might have made like a friend at my break place. And now I was like, I'm coming back. I'm going to come back and we're going to continue that conversation. I'm going to take my other car there just to talk to the guy at the front counter again. He was so cool. Like it was one of those things too, Clumsy, where like we weren't sure. We were just kind of chatting because there's nothing else going on in there. And we were both kind of like, it felt like we were testing the waters. And you know what? I thought about it after the fact. I was like, I don't know if maybe I just have one of those faces, but like people do tend to like talk to me a lot. Maybe I just have that energy. I don't initiate 9.5 times out of 10. And And I was like, but he just like, after a while, he just kind of started asking about, the car and then asking about family and stuff like that. And he told me about his family and he's got like a ton of kids and he's adopted kids. So like we kind of bonded on that. Right. Excuse me. And, yeah. So like after we left, like I shook his hand, exchanged his name, told him like, hey man, you got a really good head start on me. He's only 30. I say only. I was like, keep doing what you're doing. You seem like a good guy. Like, keep taking care of your family. Like, it's really nice and rare to meet people like you out here who will say it like it is, And he's like, it is really hard to make friends around here. I was like, yeah. But anyway, then I left and I was like, what a great conversation. I was like, what is it? What is it about me that like people feel safe? Just a friendly face? Maybe. And then I remembered. Hang on, sorry. I remembered what I was wearing. And I think it might have influenced it a little bit. Because I was wearing a certain colorful Viking on my hoodie. Because it was just a little bit chilly out. And I'm just going to say this. I think when people see the colorful Viking designed by Clumsy Artist herself, right? Did you do this one? Is this one yours? I can't recall if this was there before or not. But this was on the hoodie. And I think when people see the colorful one, I think they might be like, oh, maybe this guy's chill. Maybe I stole stolen loot's valor, Maybe this guy's actually kind of chill. The one thing you didn't design, okay. I couldn't remember if this is before your time, before you designed stuff for him. But yeah, like I don't know, it might have been like a little logo, like kind of like having the Rebel insignia, and you're like, oh hey, I have friends everywhere, that kind of thing, I think it was like a signal, like a bat signal for I'm super chill. It honestly might have had something to do with that. It's the rainbow, exactly. Yeah. It was Coleman's artist from LutzCon Year 1. Gotcha. It might have had something to do with that, honestly. Drives conservatives crazy. Yeah. Yeah. It does. But it's also like understated enough and small enough. But that might have honestly, yeah, that might have been a factor in him being a little more comfortable. Like, I think this guy might be chill, He might be chill. He might be. Nah. It's the symbol of the ally, Hashtag ally. Yeah, these are all 90s bangers here, so there's some good ones in here. Hello. A man unafraid to wear a rainbow in Texas must be a pretty chill guy, right? I've never really had anybody. I wear it out when it's chilly out because it's the warmest. It's the warmest hoodie in the freaking world. I swear I could wear it in like 10 below, and I'd be fine. It is great. It's so warm. Mm-hmm. Dude, I still don't know if any of my Democratic primary choices for Congress won. They still don't know yet. Oh, I just happened to see out of the corner of my little eye a little mega block, a little MRSA block here. Ta-da. I just happened to catch that. What's the holdup? Are they like doing recounts and stuff? Is it that close? There were less than 700 votes separating the top two. 700, guys. I'm gonna get on my soapbox again. We have to freaking vote. I know you guys did. I saw the proof, Ursa. I'm proud of you. Like, We can no longer be like complacent about this stuff, because they're going to try everything they can possibly do to like make sure that as many people as possible can't vote. So if you have the opportunity and the privilege and the wherewithal to vote, like, we got to show up in absolute astounding numbers. This year, next year, the year after, the year after that, the year after that, the year after, every single time. Because holy cow. I just looked up recently again the stats of like how many people who voted in 2020 versus how many people who voted in 2024, and it's maddening. And like, look, we all got our reasons. We all got our, you know, we're all mad at the Democrats. I get it. But like, there's bigger fish to fry than the Democratic Party, you know? You can blame them if you want, but you still got to vote. You can blame them for whatever, but like, man, we got to vote. I hate to be a vote blue no matter who kind of guy, but like at this point, I don't know what else we're supposed to do, you know? It's wild to me that we can look at everything now and just and think that like there's a lot of people who are enabling everything that's happening right now, obviously, right? It doesn't take one person, but I can point directly to one particular person and or event that has caused everything that has been happening lately. And literally point right at it. And it's very clear what's happening. And how much better there'd still be struggles, there'd still be trials, there'd still be things that we have to overcome, but how much better things would be if he didn't win. You know? That's how that conversation turned for us at the break place. You're just kind of talking about like, yeah, man, I mean, everything's so expensive now. And he's like, yeah, it's like, it's hard out there, especially being a dad, you know, like I got a whole family to care for. It's like, it's hard out there. And he kind of side eyes me a little bit. And he's like, and I bet we can, there's like one particular person we could blame for all that, huh? And kind of like side, and I was like, yes. I literally told him, I was like, I knew that I liked you. I was like, I knew it. And then from then on, it was really, we were very open. Like we had tested the water successfully and we made it through. And then from then on, it was just like, he goes on about like release the Epstein files. And he's like, hey, I was born and raised in Texas. I do have some conservative values, but he's like, but that's not the conservative values I was taught growing up, you know? And he's like, and his wife is Hispanic, but he said it specifically where she's from. But anyway, he's like, if they get like sent out, he's like, I'm never talking to any of my friends who voted for him ever again. I was like, I get it, man. I'd probably go to prison, you know? Like, honestly. So it was just really nice. It was really nice once we tested the waters, and yeah. This is just the primaries, but the guy who's trying to get in, who is trying is an ex-rump-loving Republican who screwed up his old district in the pandemic, kept his doors closed during George Floyd, and thinks he has switched party sides in districts everyone would forget. Oh, no. He did get booed many times. Yeah, he did. Too bad he's a demon who feeds off of your discontent. You know? He loves it. He laps it up. It's like, delicious. You know? I said, baby, it's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. Many, many times. Anyway, it was so nice. Oh, and also Coro Unhinged. While we were talking, he mentioned a friend. He was like, one of my best friends, his name's James. And I said, hey, I have a friend named James too. We both have James friends. So we bonded on that too. Okay, so like, okay, let's say. Oh, is this a mega block? This piece seems suspicious. Here's the thing. Let's just say I wanted to be friends with this guy. What do I do? What do you do? Like, let's say I go back, I take my other car for brakes because it needs it too. And I'm like, hey, it's you again. Remember me? And like, what do you do at this point? Do I just keep coming back to get my breaks done? What do I do at this point? Like, how do you ask out another man? How do you do that? Because I don't know how to do that. Oh, we got a stretch here 8 minutes ago. A purple tiefling. I'm so sorry I didn't see that. Let me do that right now. Chat, how do you ask out another man to be a friend? You know, I guess you could just do that, right? You could just say, key your own car. You know, I do have a lifetime warranty on these brakes. So I could take it back and be like, I don't know, man, something's just happening. And they're like, all right, we'll throw it up and take a look. No charge, you know? And then I'll be like, all right, now we can chat. Ask if he wants to go for a beer, something like that, right? I mean, is it weird to just be like, here's my phone number? Here's my phone number. Let me know if you ever want to grab a coffee or something. Or, you know. But he's a family guy too. Working, you know. I also would like to test the waters a little bit more before I just give my contact info to people. You know? But yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. You're probably right. Yeah. Just be like, hey, we should do that. Because I did tell him when I left, I was like, look, it is really hard to make friends around here with people who aren't just deeply hateful people. So keep doing what you're doing, you know, you're on the right path. More power to you. We shook hands and we left like a stranger in the night. But I did really enjoy the location that I found. So I am unironically going to go back there regardless. But I was like, I don't want to seem desperate. Just don't be weird and say, my wife is really chill about me going out and meeting men for a drink. Just don't be weird. Say, hey, my wife's super chill about. And then, what if he asks me first? He's like, you want to go out for a beer or something? I'm like, cool. And then we get there and he's like, he really misread my Lutz Magooch. And I would be flattered. But I'd have to decline, you know? It definitely wasn't like that. You could tell, you know? But yeah, it would really be pretty cool to talk about, you blush, shuffle your feet and say you'd love to. It would be really cool to talk to somebody, especially somebody I don't know that well, about just what it is like not agreeing with 90% of the people who you pass by in a day, you know? What if his middle name is Ashley? It's all over. Sorry, your name isn't Ashley. A pretty big prerequisite for me, given my track record, you know? Hi, True Kelt. How you doing? Let's go, girls. Great song for this. This can be us at the club. We'll see. When I go back there, if he's still there, hopefully he's still there. We'll see. I'll take that as a sign. The next time I feel like I can afford to do my breaks and he's still there, I will take that as a sign to be like, hey, we should talk sometime. Fair? I think that's fair. Feel the attraction. And then I'm going to tell him that I stream and he's going to look it up and he's going to see this stream and he'd be like, you're weird, man. Never mind. He's going to be like, whoa, I really dodged a bullet on that one. I'm going to be friends with this guy. What the heck? What the heck? Anyway, too funny. You go back and ask where he is, and the guy, sorry about that guy hasn't worked here in 50 years and fell in love with had dreamed the entire thing. You know what's kind of funny? Didn't know that this break place was here. Never heard of it before. It's a chain I have never heard of before. I took a chance on it because you know what happened. I went to this place called Breaks Plus is the place I went to first. I put an appointment in and everything. I get up to go in. Look, it's a hand. I get up to go in. I make it there in time, and they say, "Hey, yeah, we'll put you up here. Like, take a seat. We'll figure it out. We'll be with you in just a moment." And then about 10, 15 minutes later, he's like, "Hey, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Our technician has not showed up yet, but we're waiting on him. Hopefully, it won't be much longer." And then about another 5, 10 minutes passes again, and he goes, "Hey, so the guy who is scheduled to work this morning has not showed up, and also is not answering his phone. So he's like, I hate to say this, but I don't know if he's going to show up today." I'm like, wow. Okay. All right. Okay. That's, yeah. Okay. And so he's like, "If you want, you can leave the car here with us. And then when he gets in, we'll start working on it. Then we'll call you." And I'm like, that sounds like a whole day thing. I'm not trying to do that. So I was like, let me just go ahead and take it. He's like, "If he shows up in the next like 10 minutes or so, I'll let you know." And I'm like, that's fair. And so then I started immediately getting into there, and I was looked up another place, and right down the road was another place. Never been to it before, never heard of it before. Looked at the Google reviews, and they're like, it had solid reviews. So I was like, all right, well, let me go check it out. And so as soon as I stepped in, I actually called the place first to make sure they were like not super busy. And the guy who I talked to picked up, and I asked him like how busy. He's like, we're not busy at all. We got 3 bays open. We got technicians standing by. Let's bring it on in. So we went in there. And as soon as I walked in, he's like, "You're the guy who just called, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." See, it was like a kismet. It's like a meet cute, you know, a meet cute, but for friends who aren't pieces of shit. Anyway, hi Coleman. Hi Coleman, how you doing? And Iron, thanks for clocking in, guys. It's so good to see you. I've been in Minnesota for over a year, and I still don't have a friend that is mine. What are you gonna do about it? I don't mean that to sound mean. Let's work on this together. I'm working on trying to meet friends. I'm trying to do the same thing. It's so hard here because, I mean, not to say it's not hard where you are too, but I don't know. It is just so difficult, you know. But I can imagine moving someplace that you didn't grow up. You don't have roots there. Give yourself a little grace that like it's gonna happen, you know. They need an app called Friender. I would still be hesitant to use an app. Me personally, I would be like, I guess maybe if the intent was like find like-minded people around you, especially when you're you're kind of like the whole blue dot in a red area kind of thing. Yeah. There is one. I tried it and it sucked. Yeah, it feels like they would suck, right? Wait. It feels like the app would be bad. You'll just need to go to SWU events and make friends. Yeah, but then I'd have to play SWU. Then the only thing that friend would want to do is play SWU. Really? I was joking. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there are. Yeah, there definitely are. Met friends on Meetup for board games. Yeah. Then I'd have to play board games. I absolutely love my friends. Most of them, if not all of them, love playing board games. And I'm not a big board game guy. I like playing the occasional game, especially with these people, but I don't play them outside of I don't play them in my outside life. Yeah. You got ghosted by like 3 different people, and I was like, thank God I never had to do this for dating, because OMG, I cannot imagine the dating scene on a dating app. I cannot imagine. And I never had the disposition for a dating app. I was so like, I think part of my problem, especially in college, when I met you-know-who, not my current wife, but my ex-girlfriend, not wife. I fall for people too easily, way too easy. Like, it doesn't take much, and I'm just head over heels because I was so starved for attention. And that got me in a predicament in that relationship where she had a lot of power and influence over me, which feels weird to say, but it's true, you know. more power to her, whatever. She's married with kids now. Have fun, you know. But I could not do the dating apps because I'd immediately just be like, I love you. I just couldn't be picky enough, you know? And, yeah, I don't know. So then I was a little cautious, you know, once I started talking to my now wife. I was trying to be a little cautious about, like, I know this about myself, so I don't want to make the same mistake again. Probably led to me taking way too long to finally, like, you know, allow myself to have feelings for her because of that. And then when I finally did admit that, Ashley was like, it's about time, dude. Like, come on. And that's when I knew she was the one. When she's like, okay, glad you finally got up to speed, brother. She's like, I've been here for you this whole time. And, you know, 15 years later, here we are. I know that my serious ex before Marissa got divorced 3 times. Dodged a huge bullet with that one. Definitely dodged a huge bullet. And got yourself... No. I'm not Ghost. I can't make those jokes. You were together in your late 20s. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad that worked out that way. Jeez. I am very glad. Yeah, and I'm happy with the way things turned out too. It was a lesson I needed to learn, and I learned it, and I internalized it, and it, you know, never happens again, you know? But I do, and I think outside of romantically, of course. I mean, listen to me right now. I'm talking about like this guy I met at the break place who had a casual conversation with me about how messed up the world is. I'm like, we should be best friends. Like, that's just kind of it's kind of like what I do. And, you know, it's not always a bad thing, but, you know, I'll like give people the benefit of the doubt maybe a little too quickly. Go to their defense maybe a little too quickly when I'm like, I don't really know them that well. But yeah, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much for me to feel connected to a person, which might be why I'm so introverted, you know? To remind you. I feel all this. My nesting partner needed to approach me. Yeah, it wasn't even so much that Ashley like approached me about it. It was just kind of like, because like, and like if I told you how many people growing up that I had mega crushes on, basically, I hate to say it, but if you were a female of the female gender, and you were in my vicinity, sometimes not even in my vicinity, I would hopelessly fall in love with you. And I'm talking like my early teen. Like I'm talking like I was a baby, a kid. But never did anything come of that. I was just a little weirdo who didn't know how to talk to girls, but I'm a piner. I was a big piner. A piner from afar. I like to think that I wasn't obvious about it, but let's be honest. I probably was pretty bad. I probably creeped him out. Honestly. So the actual moment that I was like making myself be social and like branching out and starting college, I instantly, the first girl who showed any kind of like interest in me, I fell head over heels for, you know? So that kind of works, right? Like, yeah, made it to the office. I'd like to turn around and go home, please. I feel you. I don't know what's on the docket for this week. I'll have to check when I log in if I have to go in at all this week. I don't think I have to go in at all this week, but it's coming. It's going to happen. They saw the intense puppy dog eyes and got scared. You know, unironically, probably. Yeah. And so, yeah, that did kind of like, especially after that whole thing with her, I was very much on guard about just like, I cannot just fall for the first person who shows interest in me. And, you know, that absolutely made me slow down a little bit with my now wife. And she's going to watch this later and be like, I wondered what took you so long. She's like, I knew you liked me and I liked you. She's like, what are we doing? I'm like, what are we doing here? She knew way before I did. And she judges me for it to this day. And you know what? She should. She should. She should judge me hard. Lutz Magoose, we talking old flames? Kinda. Old mistakes? Lutz, so listen. I think I made a friend. I was talking to a guy at the break place. I won't regurgitate the whole story. If you're interested, I can tell you later. But like, he really opened up to me and we ended up talking about like politics, and here in Texas, like that's pretty wild, right? And I left that place being like, what was it about me that like made him safe to open up? And then I realized I was wearing a Lutz Magoots hoodie with the disco Lutz head on it, like this. I think he might have been like, this guy might be chill. I think this guy's pretty chill. I can talk to him because, you know, we're blue dots here, you know. Read your message. I'll find it here. Yeah. So I don't know. I think your merch might have made me a friend. We'll see. I'm going to go back there again. Next time I go back there, if he's there, I will offer like, hey, if you ever wanted to grab a drink, just talk this out. Two dudes hanging out in a red state, talking the politics. I might be interested. I remember our first real conversation at LutzCon on the game room couch and thinking, this guy is so awesome. Iron, stop it. I remember thinking the same thing about you. The moment I met you, I was like, she's pretty cool. She's pretty darn cool. So now that I am secure in my romantic relationships, now I just fall in love with people as friends. You know, I fall horde. But also I feel like I'm not a great friend. I need to be a better friend. Something I've been working on for a while, and I don't feel like I've got the hang of it yet. Hi, Lutz Magoots, though. I hope you're doing well as well. Thank you so much for your merch. It changed lives. I'll ask him the next time. If we do end up talking, I'll ask him, what was it? And watch him be like, nah, I just talk that way to everybody because I don't give a shit. You know? I'm done with this poop. I don't care what people think of me anymore. And I'll be like, okay, we really need to be friends. I was going to break stuff on his car so he can go back and talk to the guy. I mean, I have a lifetime warranty on those brakes, man. I did already tell them. The place was the people there were really nice. So he was the assistant manager at the front desk, and the manager was actually out in the bay working on the car too. And he was really cool as well. They all seemed really young. I mean, for me, the assistant manager was in his 30s, and the other actual general manager could not have been much older. He looked like a young black man who, like, I have a hard time telling how old people are, especially when I don't know them, right? But like, he was really cool too. They took me out, showed me everything they were doing, they didn't upsell me on anything. There's a couple of things that I'll need to have done in the car eventually, but none of it was so like that urgent. They like really took the time. Like, it was really, really good. So I was like, hey, listen, I'm bringing my other car here. I think I need to get those brakes checked pretty soon as well, now that I kind of know what they run. And they threw in a couple of stuff towards the end. They're like, hey, if I just gave you like a brake flush for free, would you take it? And I'm like, yes. He's like, all right, I'm just going to do that for you. Because they had like already rung me up, and they're like, I'll just do it for you. No big deal. I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring my other car in because I need that to have the one silver as well. And he gave me a little fist bump. Made me feel really cool. Give me a little fist bump, you know? It was great. Two dudes in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not. What's the name of the podcast? What's the podcast name? I had a mythical YouTube algo poll last night. Speaking of guys being dudes, being suds, were they all sudded up? That would be a mythical poll. Dudes were in a hot tub all sudded up. Great poll. I know, Iron. I know. I don't reach out to people enough. I think about everyone daily, but I just don't reach out and say hi. I really am not. I carry a little bit of guilt about that, not to make it about myself, but I carry some guilt about that, about recent events. I feel like I can't even think too much about it or talk too much about it because I'll start crying. So, and nobody wants to see that. Yeah. Who is this? Who is this? Lego with Fonzie. The Fonzie? The guy who hits the jukebox and says, hey, the Church of Fonzie has descended. May the Fonz be with you. I like that. Thank you so much. Hey, welcome in. Thank you so much for the shout out, Ursa. Let's see. You guys were doing Lego as well. Tell me more. Tell me what you're getting into. Today here, we're just doing some sorting and chatting, talking about life. I have a giant collection here that needs to be sorted and hasn't been in a very long time in order to start doing my own builds on Twitch as well, which is kind of the end goal here. So you're welcome to hang out with us. Thank you so much for the follow, Kathy. Thank you for that. And Madman in a Blue Box. I know what that's a reference to. You know? Whoa. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Lego and a Star Wars reference? Yeah, welcome. You found your place. I kind of like Star Wars a little bit. This is a weird song to be doing this to. I might need to swap this. Hold on. Okay. He keeps talking about sucking a, you know what. Here we go. Here's some wholesome Hanson. There we go. Anyway, you've been building a Lego commission. Ooh, you got commissions to build stuff. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. I've seated my butt at my desk. Welcome. Do you get a cubicle or is it like an open air desk with everybody? It should have been me. Oh, hey. Your chair has your gratitude. The chair is far too excited. Let's see. What were we talking about right before? Oh, 2 blue dot dudes in a red state. So, oh yeah. That's a good idea, Ursa. 2 blue dots. Surely that is already a podcast, you know. 2 Texas bros. I'm just immediately like, hey, you want to come out and get a beer with me? Sorry, I'm on the wrong screen. You want to come out and get a beer with me and then also start a podcast? Just immediately jump to a podcast. But it's true. All the best conversations would happen in that first session. So like, you know. All right, let's get back on the screen. I should just bring a mic with me and just record him right off the bat. That won't be weird, right? You cabbage. Wait, what screen is that? Oh, so this is the new React camera. So this is just, I have a video queued up here about the building a functional typewriter that I thought could be kind of fun to watch. However, we're already at time. So this is just another screen. Yeah. So this is a Lego typewriter. This is actually the new reacting scene. I have an actual second screen down here that everything is playing on. So it's gonna make reacting stuff a lot easier, but we never got to it. So these bins are what I have. That's these right here. I have these and I have the tiny ones. That's basically the exact same bins that are in my closet. Pretty great, huh? The entire collection isn't going in those bins, just the smaller pieces. The bigger pieces are going in like quart size. Bigger pieces are going in like these. You know, there's my slopes. Anyway, welcome everybody. If you got a raid and run, more than happy to be your jumping off point. If you want to hang out for a little while, we just got a couple of minutes left before we'll be taking off as well. Maybe we'll see if we can share the love around the Lego community. Here on Twitch when we get ready to leave as well. Yeah, sorry, I went onto the wrong screen, you know? I thought that working Lego typewriter could be kind of a cool thing to watch, but maybe we'll try that tomorrow. We'll never know. What was it? What was what? Oh, that screen? Okay. Oh, okay, we're talking about the screen. All right. Well, guys, let's see. Where was I? Lutz Magootz's merch might have landed me a friend. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, I do need to take another car back there, but now I'm kind of like, I need to wait a while because it was expensive, and that's one expensive friendship if I have to keep bringing my car back there, you know? Maybe that was the ruse all along. He's like, yeah, did you talk to that guy about politics? He looked like he'd like to talk about politics. They're like, yeah, I got him. He's going to bring his other car back now too, sucker. We got him. That is unironically thoughts that I have. That like, oh, they didn't actually want to be my friend. They were just using me for capitalism. You know? You started late, so you owe us another 2 minutes. Bet. Was it just one set of brakes and rotors? So it was just the brake pads. All 4 brake pads needed to be replaced. The rotors were still good, thank God. One of them was kind of on the border, and the guy was like, he was telling me, he's like, look, this one's like really close to needing repair. He's like, the one thing it'll do is it'll wear the brakes down a little unevenly. He's like, but it's not, it's like, it's really not it's not by a significant amount. He's like, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but he's like, I don't think you need to replace it. And I said, well, price it out. Let's price out like with the rotors and without. And when it was with the rotors, it was about $1,000. And without the rotors, it was like $500. So I'm like, you know what? We're not going to do the rotors right now. You know? What the heck is ADD? We'll never know. Made me feel like Ursa was gaslighting me. So I just wanted to know. That's why I'm asking. I got you. Yeah. Famous gaslighter, man. I'm an Expedition 33 boss. The gaslighter. Fun fact, Jordan couldn't tell me the band and the name of the song. Really? I turned it up a little bit. He's probably tired though. Yeah, usually if I get to talk to him, it's because he stayed up late, you know. But he works late, so that makes sense. Or makes sense, you know. I hate that he's in California time zone. I wish he'd get his butt to Central Time. You know? I cannot get this piece off. I need a brick separator, but I'm not even sure a brick separator would do it at this point. It's like it's really in there. Ooh, maybe this would help. Maybe the little blaster. Maybe the little blaster would help. Oh, it's not the right stud side though. Yeah, it doesn't have enough grip. All right, whatever. Oh my gosh. What's my age again? I mean, the last time was October, so I don't know if I'd call that still. Imagine Dragons, if you would. What if they're just the same person? You know? What if they're just the same guy in a trench coat or something, you know? We'll never know. We'll never figure it out. A MRSA block, another MRSA block. MRSA block. Why did I flip him off like that? Why did I do that? I didn't mean to do that. Stop. MRSA, I don't mean it. You're feeling old with this song? Yeah, these are some 90s bangers, or as the kids calling it, classical music. This is now the oldies, Ams. Although Barbie Girl is kind of older, but yeah, they would be like, is this classical music? Clip that for Mersa. Clip it. Yeah, do it. With the tip, says Bebo. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, buddy. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm getting too into it. See, this is the part of the stream, like, I feel like I started very low energy because I was still waking up, and now I'm a coffee in. I got music going. I got my friends all here. We're all chatting up. Conversation is flowing. That's when I'm like, why can't the whole stream be that way? Mersa block. Hold on. There, mega block. And look how smooth that part is right there. Shiny. And not in a good way. I hit it. Classical is instrumental, like with an orchestra, not classics. Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes people call it the same thing, though. They'll be like, is this a classic or classical music? But yeah, you are right. It's not like the genre of classic, but the kids would say that, you know? The kiddos would say. Although Barbie Girl was already kind of by the time I could remember music, was already kind of a done deal, you know? Chili Peppers is also known as classic rock, and it makes me mad. Classic rock. I remember the classic rock station. Back when I worked at the warehouse, one of my first jobs, they would have they would play the radio, right? Over the stereo system. And all throughout the entire warehouse, they couldn't decide on which station to do. So each day we did a different station. It's I'm trying to remember. I think Thursdays were classic rock. So Thursday was the classic rock station. I think Tuesday or Wednesday was country. I'm trying to remember. It's been way too long. But yeah, there'd be we'd do the country station this time. We'd do pop on, I think pop was on Friday. So Kiss FM, you know, all the hits of the 2000s, of the 90s and the 2000s. Like this one, Baby. Hold on. All right. There we go. It's bad. What a mix. Yeah. That one's going to make me blush. So let's move on with that. Mostly because it's incredibly true. Deeply so. That's just TMI. You guys don't need to know that. Mersa block, Ock block, but mega. Yeah. That's for you. Hey, look, a little pink piece. I'm all about value. All right.
Oh, shoot. Guys, I was supposed to go to work today. I gotta go.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Maybe I should try to down a coffee before I start stream, because now I'm all awake and I just don't want to go anywhere, you know? But I was yawning when I started. I was oh, I got zero energy. I don't know what to do with myself. But all right. It is time. It is time, my friends. It's actually way past time, to be honest with you. We will try to hit that Lego typewriter video maybe tomorrow. Now, let's just work on YouTube today. Yeah, I wish, brother. If I can pull myself away, I absolutely will. Yeah. If I can find a little bit of time, which I don't think I have many calls today, so that might be possible. If I can really buckle down and get the stuff I need done for the day, and then spend the afternoon maybe. But you know what? We're gonna knock on wood there, because you know how that goes. Okay, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for me. Why is the mic so high? Boop. My boss is calling probably. Shoot, I'm probably gonna walk into 16 emails. So 60 more like it. 16. I wish. If I got 16 emails, something's wrong with my email. Something's wrong with the servers because, yeah, just got to roll with it. Yep. Just got to do what we got to do. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe. Okay, gang. Let's see here. I should have left up Opera so I could take a look at what's going on. Not that screen. Too many screens. Too many screens, am I right? Let's see what's going on here. It's going to be hard without Loots Magoots this week, huh? What are we supposed to do? Oh, you know what? Mike is live. Mike is live. It would be really nice to go. You guys want to go hang out with Mike? Mike is a good watch. He's playing Liza P currently. Really cool guy. Seems like it. Seems very, you know what? I'm going to say it. He seems chill. He seems pretty chill. Ursa's probably already there and Ghost. Yeah, probably. Dual screening it again. All right. /raid. Let's go over to Mike. Mike he divides us all with his love. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, so that'll be nice. That'll be nice to just kind of like say hello there and then be able to jump into work. So Nander's here and he'd never lie to you, Michael. That's so true. Michael. Yes, Michael. I would never lie to you. It's true. Okay, well, guys, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. Thank you so much for being here today. I love that you guys are just willing to hang out with me while I sort through this thing. I'm hoping it's not getting too boring. I'm trying my best to make it as engaging and as fun as possible, but you guys are a big part of that. So thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys tomorrow, unless there's something on my work calendar. I'll try to let you know today if that is the case. Otherwise, expect to see me here tomorrow, same time, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. Same place, twitch.tv/Nonder, and the same Non. It's just me. Okay. Guys, have a wonderful Monday. See you tomorrow. Bye. I don't remember the lyrics, but I know it hurts. All right, that's going to be really weird on the VOD. All right, I'm leaving.